There are 7 stages to building software, and that hasn't changed because of AI. What has changed is that AI can now help you at every single one of those stages. Today I'm going to show you my exact AI workflow from start to finish. I'm going to take a real project, I'm going to add an entirely new analytics page using Claude Code like a professional would. You're going to see every prompt, every mistake, every decision, and by the end, you'll have a workflow you can steal and use in your own projects. Before we get into it, this video is sponsored by Supabase, and we'll be displaying some of their MCP capabilities throughout the video. So with that, let's get into it. Now, the very first step is requirements. Before I write a single line of code, I need to figure out what I'm actually building. For a small feature, that might take 5 minutes. For something complex, that might take a couple of days. The point is, you need to think before you build. This is very important as it dictates the entire direction of what the AI will output. So let's jump into the terminal to figure out how to gather our requirements. All right, so to start, the very first thing I'm going to show you is that I have CMux running, and it allows you to easily be able to split up your screen as many times as you want to really have multiple terminal sessions running, and it's all on a app that allows you to have like terminal access really easy, just using like UI controls like clicking around and things like that. I am just going to show you that project real quick where we can see we have a task manager project. Now, one thing we want to do here is add an analytics feature. That's what the whole point of this project is going to be, is to add an analytics feature using Claude Code with what I think is one of the better AI workflows. So the very first thing I always do is just turn my model to max. By default, it's not max, so you just have to use the left and right arrow to adjust it. So I'm just going to ask it real quick, what's all the information you can see in our Supabase MCP? So here we can see that it's all working. It has all of our list organizations. It can see all of our tools. It can do pretty much everything inside there. So it says, do you want me to pull live data? And that's really good. So what I want it to do is I'm going to tell it now to use our Superpowers plugin, which you can install by going into /plugins and then installing Superpowers from here. It comes with a lot of default skills that allow using Claude Code significantly better. And here I'm just going to say, use our Superpowers plugin brainstorming skill along with our Supabase MCP to understand the data that we currently have to build requirements for our analytics page that is currently blank. Now, I just wrote all of that using something called Whisperflow. I'm just literally giving out all my secrets. It is a way for you to do voice to text, so you can start filling out these prompts very quickly. So I'm going to start that off. And the first thing I'm going to do is just move this over here so we can give this a little bit more screen, but we're going to come over here in a little bit. So what's really cool here is it just used our Supabase MCP to be able to query all the data, and it came back with all this Supabase data right here where it says by status, by project, priority, assigning, overdue, and completed. It did all of this automatically by just fetching my Supabase data through MCP. Very powerful stuff here from Claude Code. Now the second step is design. This is where you make the technical decisions. And if you skip this, the AI will make those decisions for you, and often they're pretty bad. So in this step, I have Claude use an MCP to go to an application that has a bunch of different design UIs and workflows. This is a design application that can be comprehended and consumed by AI agents. It helps the AI understand exactly what you want to build to better deliver UI and user experiences on its first try. So let's jump back into the code and use this. This is the perfect time for us to tell it to, when designing new UIs and user experiences, please reference the MCP of Refero. This right here is an MCP that I use that has a bunch of professional UIs and UXs that Claude Code can pull from. So instead of trying to design everything themselves, it has references that it can look at. So right now we've already used 2 MCPs. We have Supabase, which is going to be our entire backend and database, and it's fetching all the data. And then we have this new MCP that's going to design us UIs and user experiences. So here it's going through and it's grabbing all those different types of contexts. This is the designing stage, right? So step 1 was the requirements, which gathered all the data that we currently have and trying to figure out what we want to build. And the second one is trying to create a design of what we actually want to implement. So here it's asking for some clarifying questions. We found a couple different real life projects that we think it would make sense for your project. And now it's asking us, what is the primary audience or purpose? I'm going to say this is for a team lead or manager. So I'm just going to say A. And while this is going on, you might be wondering, Eric, why do you have another tab here? Well, often I'll have an entire other Claude Code model running over here doing the exact same process of the 7 steps we're going over in an entire different session, or working on a Git work tree or on a completely different feature. So I'm just going to leave that over here for now, but now I'm going to close it just because I think it'll be easier for the video. All right, so we have now done all of these steps. It's now presenting the document above, and now it's going to start getting into our writing our design doc, which is a really important step, because once we get our design doc, we can then start going into our written specs, which a lot of people talk about right here, spec-driven development using AI. Now, the third step is planning. Now that we have our requirements and we have our design, we need to plan out how to actually build this thing. This is where the spec-driven part really comes into play. We have all the requirements in design, and now we are planning them into implementation. Now here it says it's created our entire plan in our Docs Superpowers Plans 2026. So if we go into our project right now, and we go into Docs Plans, we can see the Analytics Dashboard plans right here, where it tells us the entire plan of what we should build out with a lot of the code. Literally almost 1,000 lines of exactly what to do. The fourth step is development. This is the part everyone wants to see. But notice, we've already done 3 stages of work before we wrote a single line of code. The prep is why this is going to go smoothly. We already have the requirements, the design, the specs, and now we're simply asking Claude Code to implement. Since we did 3 really deep investigations beforehand, we don't need to use much of Claude Code's context outside of actually just implementing the feature. So let me show you what I mean by this and how we can implement in code. If we go into here now, it's going to ask us, do we want to do a agent-driven approach, which means it's going to dispatch fresh sub-agents per tasks, and there's multiple tasks. It allows you to do fast iteration, or inline execution, which means it does it one by one. I almost always do sub-agent approach, so I'm going to say 1. And now what it's going to do is going to spin up multiple agents in parallel using this skill, the sub-agent driven development, and it's going to now knock out all those tasks extremely fast. So I'll come back to you once that is complete. Now the 5th step is review. Now this is like the secret sauce, and where multi-models can really come into play to help you with hallucinations and context rot. Here's what I do that's slightly different than most tutorials out there. I have a /codex review skill that checks all the changes that Claude Code just did using codex. I then have Claude review what codex just found and come back to me with a priority list of the items we should actually fix. This is a really neat skill implementation because it is how you can utilize multi-models to do some really amazing things. All right, so now it says that all the background tasks are complete, all implemented, 90 tests are passing, and clean tight check. And if I want to start the server or finish on a new branch, well, I already have the server running, so no need for that. It tells us everything that was built and looks good. So let's go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to jump into our browser, and here's our application before. And if I click analytics, here's all the analytics it just built. So all of our tasks, our completion rate, overdue, block, and all of our tasks by projects, and then workload assigned by each person. This is pretty cool. This all happened by using skills and plugins. Now, one of the last steps I always do is if I go back into CMux, I actually have something called codex review. Now I'm going to start this codex review, and what this does is it's going to have codex, which is OpenAI AI agent coding, similar to Claude Code, but from OpenAI. It's going to now look at all of the code changes that we just implemented, find errors in it, so like bugs, and then it's going to go back to Claude, and Claude is going to go through it and see what's actually true and what's actually not. And my skill that I created for this is simply named Codex Review. Run OpenAI Codex Review the current Git diff on or a specific file. So I can do it on a specific file, or I can just do it on the whole thing. But really what it's going to do is it runs through it with the headless mode through Claude, and it's going to go through all of the code changes to find if there is a bug or if there's something that's worth improving. And then Claude is going to verify it and tell me if it thinks I should update it or not. So we'll see what Codex comes back with. And Claude did an amazing job this time. It literally said Codex came back with like barely any findings. It came with some warnings, some info, and Claude's assessment is literally not worth, debatable, not worth, not worth, not worth, not worth. So it's actually saying the recommended approach is to fix nothing. So that is great, and that's because of all the skills that we had properly set up. And now something that I would do from here, if this is on a working branch, is I would say, go ahead and do a git add, git commit, and git push. And it's spelled git wrong, but luckily these large language models are going to know what I'm trying to say. I don't even have to go through and, fix it all. It's going to go through and do all the bash commands, wire everything up, and commit it. I mean, it's really changing how we write software. It really is, and it's really powerful stuff. And then you can just go through this. I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead and do whatever you need to do there. And if you're curious to see what all those skills were that Claude Code was running, you can actually go to github.com and go to this URL. Superpower's plugin is completely open source. It literally has 112,000 stars at the time of this recording. And it kind of tells you everything that's going on, and you can kind of go through here and see exactly how each one of these skills are working and the kind of the philosophy behind it. So it's really, really powerful stuff. Now, the last two stages are deployment and monitoring. I'm not going to have a full production deployment in this video, but I want to mention them because without mentioning them, the workflow isn't complete. Deployment is getting your code into production. AI agents are great for this. You can have them automatically doing git adds, commits, and pushes, and have your own CI/CD pipeline hooked up with GitHub Actions that pushes to production, and you can do all that with a single command. And monitoring is making sure everything stays healthy after you ship. AI can help here too, setting up alerts, analyzing logs, and diagnosing issues. These two stages really deserve their own video, so I'll cover them in the future. But the important thing is that you know that they exist and you don't skip them. So this is my entire workflow on how I build features. If you're still interested in how I use Claude Code, here's a video right here or right here, one of these spots, and I'll see you in the next.